But if you stayed true, it would have come to you because now everything is acceptable. And so everybody's deviating into something. I say put your fucking flag on the ground of who the fuck you are. I have a funny feeling it's gonna come to you, especially with the way the world's working now. Like, I know the real answer because I've seen it in so many people's eyes. It's self-awareness. My biggest fear in this room is that you're trying to be somebody because you want to be them versus you figure yourself out and put yourself in a position to be that person. I think what you had, when I watched what you were just talking about, like, that kid was that kid from the get. He was self-aware, he figured himself out. He was comfortable in that nerdy environment. I was comfortable in high school, working every minute, every second, and missing every party. And like, I have not heard a voice in my own head but mine for a very, very, very long time. And I think what is most interesting to me right now is if you really pay attention to what's happening, the internet has absolutely done this incredible thing, which is there's nobody who's flawed that can sit in between you and the end consumer who's stopping you besides the narrative in your own head. That's a big deal. Like, you know, obviously a lot of people growing up in the music industry, it's just so different now. Like, just fucking go make it. Like, producing a song now with technology and putting it on SoundCloud, production and distribution, like that's some shit you couldn't even imagine. And so I just think, I'll be very honest, I think we're living through the greatest time to be a human ever. I do. We've got problems everywhere. We got genocide in the world. We've got nothing but unlimited problems. But I put things into perspective. Like, I don't know, we got plenty of problems, but the Black Plague was worse, right? We got plenty of problems, but World War II was worst. Like, you know, there's just opportunity because of the internet, not because we've evolved. I don't put this on us. Like, we've still got plenty of short, but the fact that we have so much opportunity. And so, to me, it's basic. Either you're dwelling and looking backwards, or you're optimistic and looking forward. The problem is, you grew up in an environment, you grew up with parents that put you on the defense or the offense. And that is really the lottery. The lottery really is, who's your mom, right? The lottery is, who's your best friend? That's the lottery I think a lot about. And so I have unlimited white male friends who have tons of fucking money in the bank, who fucking lost, who suck, who are in depression because they got the wrong lottery because their mom's broken, because her mom was broken, and because her dad was broken. And so I am the byproduct against all the odds that I had of parents that fucking dominated. Like, my mom is all time, just all time, she is. And so even when I was getting D's and F's and all the other immigrant families were making fun of her because her son wasn't gonna make it because you had to get A's and B's because that's all we knew in the 80s and 90s, she knew who I was. She let me hone my skills. I'd get D's and F's, I'd get punished, but I was still allowed to go do my baseball card shows because I was building my skill. And they taught me work. They taught me work. I didn't see my dad until I was 15 and he made me work in his liquor store, even though we slept in the same house every night. But the truth is the truth.
Yeah.
I run the best agency, and so they're gonna hire you. If you're great at your craft, there's nobody who's not gonna come to you because you're teaching other people how to build a business. It will all be net positive. Don't allow yourself to look at the negatives or perceived negatives or issues. For every person you lose that says he's not spending all his time on that, you're gonna get 3 others because you are spending all your time on that. Too many people are dwelling on what they're losing without understanding that those same tactics make them win. When I started speaking in 2009, I cursed a lot. And I didn't wear suits. And you know, there's a lot of youngsters in here, this may seem foreign, but that was not super fucking acceptable just 8 years ago. And I would get emails then I got a speaking agent, and I would get so many emails. Literally CAA, my agency, would call me once a month and say, if you stop cursing, we can get you 4 more speaking gigs a month easy. And I would reply consistently for 3 years, motherfucker. If I stop cursing, nobody's gonna listen to me speak because I'm not gonna be me, right? And guess what? I won. Because the world changed. When you're yourself and you're true, that's why, Jason, I really loved what you were talking about. Could you imagine how much the world has evolved? Let me leave you with this as you're thinking about stuff. If you told a parent 12 years ago that when they have a 15-year-old daughter, they would rather that 15-year-old daughter go into a strange man's car 4 times a day instead of driving their own car. They would have laughed you out of the room. But if you live in a rich neighborhood and your daughter turns 16, the big new gift is not a new Benzo, the big new gift is unlimited Uber. Yeah, right? But if you stayed true, it would have come to you because now everything is acceptable. And so everybody's deviating into something. I say put your fucking flag on the ground of who the fuck you are. I have a funny feeling it's gonna come to you, especially with the way the world's working now, because what all this Harvey Weinstein and Matt Lauer stuff is, it's all very simple. It's over. The internet, there is no hiding. Everything will be exposed. Do you know how great the world's gonna be in 50 years? Let me make you optimistic. We're taking one step backwards. You know why? We're facing shit we need to face. We've been faking the truth. And so we're taking one big step back and we're dealing with it. It's like, it's gonna be a painful fucking decade. It hasn't even started. We're gonna be dealing with a lot of shit, but let me tell you what our grandkids are gonna be living through. They're gonna be living through a world because of the full exposure of who we are, where everybody realizes everybody's got fucked up shit. There's not a person in here, not one person in here that doesn't do something that we consider right now a real flaw. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. We as a collective have to go through the pain of that, but when we get on the other side, like when we're all old and we're looking at this, remember this talk. That's pretty egotistical, but try to build on this yourself and forget where it started. Let me go that route. We're gonna be happy because it's gonna be different. It's gonna be real different because everybody's gonna start accepting people's shortcomings, and we're gonna have very different conversations and things like marriage and things like money and sex and race. Like, we're gonna have some real conversations over the next 20, 30 years. Get ready, because this isn't gonna stop, and we are just not the animals that we wish we were, and we just have to face that, own it, go through that painful process, but we will be much better people in 50 years from today because of this time, during this era, because the internet is exposing us, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm happy, because the truth should win, but you've got to go through some shit to get to the other side, and that's what we're gonna do. That's cool on a holistic level that I'm sure a lot of people looking around here are very passionate about. On your own personal level, do that with yourself as a person and as an entrepreneur, and shit will go in a totally different place, I promise you. Own your shortcomings, own your strengths, surround yourself with the other shit, and stuff starts to pop. Thank you for having me.